And I do understand Kgoshi is now ready for us. Kgoshi, let's just start with Contralesa's reaction to the children who are giving birth.
Firstly, let me start off by congratulating our mothers who gave birth on the 25th or even on the 1st of January, this 2025. Madam, it's a pain in my heart that teenage pregnancy is rife in South Africa. And to make matters worse, the stat shows that South Africa is the highest country when it comes to teenage pregnancy. And this must come to a stop. It can't stop on its own, as rightly said in your intro, Madam. So what contributes to this? It's this sexual abuse, in majority by family members. One other issue is lack of education, contributed again by inaccessibility of contraceptives by some of our young girls. And even peer pressure is also contributing to this. The question is, where are we as parents when all this is happening? What are the efforts by governments in making sure that we stop this once and for all? And I am saddened that some of the parents, they will even celebrate when a young girl got pregnant. You'll hear an adult saying, hey, at least now I'll have something to play with. And that to us as Contralesa, it's a pain in our flesh, Madam. We are really serious about this. And it's a pain, as I said, in our hearts.
I'm going to get to the parents in just a moment. You raised points that I would like to follow up on. There's two of them. I'll start with the first one. When we talk about the families, and in some communities, this is handled badly, particularly when you think about in some rural areas, where it'll be either a family member, a neighbor, or something, or someone has abused this child. And we still then hear of a goat being given, just as a form of apologizing to the family. And some communities are saying that this is also becoming part of the problem and has been for quite some time.
I won't deny that, Madam, that it's possible that it's happening in some area. And if it happens, some of it's caused by these forced marriages, for example, child marriages. It's rife in some areas, but as Contralesa, we are saying that practice is no more accepted in our society. Even if a child got pregnant, we don't force that particular girl to get married to this boy who impregnated her. We're against it. The question of parents, some of the parents will go all out and force their child to get married to a particular family simply because they are well-to-do. That as well, it's really unacceptable. And as traditional leadership, I think it's high time now. It's just a pity, Madam, because government gave us a Chapter 12, Section 211 and 212. That only recognizes traditional leadership with no functions, no authority. If we still had those powers then, if anyone will impregnate a child and take a goat in a form of saying, no, we are asking for forgiveness, we must not accept that. We are encouraging parents to really reject that kind of notion. People must face music for what they've done.
Yeah.
I'm very happy that the 13-year-old girl who gave birth to a child, law enforcement are looking for this guy so that he be charged for statutory rape. That's what we're supposed to do, all of us as community leaders, either traditional leaders, political leadership, religious leaders, and all of us. Let's use any platform to preach the gospel, to say, not in the name of culture. No child must be forced to get married simply because the parents wants to get rich in terms of getting those cattle and so on. We're against it as Contralesa. We're saying this must come to a stop.
And I hear you when you say that you're against it as Contralesa, but for example, in 2023, Contralesa was calling on government to step up efforts to deal with this crisis. And this was after a 15-year-old girl was among 33 mothers who gave birth on Christmas Day in Limpopo. Yet, 2024, same province, a 13-year-old girl gave birth on Christmas Day, a 12-year-old in the Eastern Cape yesterday, a 15-year-old in Mpumalanga, a 16-year-old in the Northwest, and in KZN, a number of 16-year-olds as well. Clearly, calls are falling on deaf ears. What else do we do other than just talking? Because our children really need urgent action now.
A good point, Madam. I'm even happy that you are raising this. We suggested to government to say, please bring back those powers to traditional leaders so that we're able to intervene in times like this. Unfortunately, whatever we're requesting, people don't trust traditional leadership. I mean, government don't trust traditional leadership that we can deal with some of these issues. And it's really a curse to our government. But people are now aware that our government, they're dragging their feet. They're good in talking, but not in action. Where is that unit that used to deal with issues like this? Because in all police stations, in all magistrate offices, we used to have some units that deal strictly with this kind of misnomer that's happening in our country. We are saying until some people wake up and smell their coffee and come back to us, traditional leadership, Contralesa in particular, so that we give them exactly what we're suggesting as a way out of this thing that is really crippling our society. We can't remain a charity state where our young girls will give birth and government will happily come in and give them monies and so on. This cannot be my leader. We cannot continue like this, unfortunately.
Yeah, certainly, as you say, it definitely cannot continue like this. Do you think that now it's time for this to be a matter of urgency that is just declared, to be getting as much assistance and focus, just like GBV has been, because in part it is, but certainly needs its own focus. Should it be declared a national crisis?
I fully agree with you. It's time now where those MECs, those ministers must not just be happy to go to hospitals and receive babies. The question is, after receiving those babies, what then? Is there any follow-up in making sure what happened to the young mother and the child? Nothing is happening. They are waiting for another December, another January, where they're going to go there with a smile, with cameras to receive babies. This must come to a stop. Our politicians must now take our people of South Africa seriously and saying, because this is something that is not done, it was not done before, and it's against our culture and practice. What is it that needs to be done to stop this? They must not just rush to hospitals just to appear in cameras receiving babies.
Yeah.
The time is up now for them to say, how do we stop this thing where our young babies, as you rightly said, 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 15-year-old, no, it's not on. There is no way in which some of us can celebrate when this is happening, my dear.
Kgoshi, I appreciate your time. As you say, it's time for action, more than words. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. That is Kgoshi Mathupa Mokoena, who's the president of Contralesa.